In line with the global digitalization trend, the National Sport Commission is set to synergize with Galaxy Backbone for the digitalization of stadia facilities and infrastructure across the country. The chairman, National Sport Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, disclosed this on Friday when he received members of Galaxy Backbone on a courtesy call in his office at the National Stadium, Abuja. Malam Diko noted that the vision of his administration is to set all stadia and sporting infrastructure energized and actively ICT compliant in line with global best practices. Diko pointed out that the vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is for the country to have at least 6 standard and competent stadia to host international events across the 6 geopolitical zone. Meanwhile, earlier in his remark, leader of the Galaxy team, Professor Ibrahim Adeyanju, said that the organization came in order to identify with the NSC leadership and to extend a hand of partnership to the Commission to ensure a digitalization transformation of sport facilities across the country. Dr. Elechi, this is another big move from the National Sport Commission. They want to digitalize our sporting facility. And the second aim is to ensure that we have at least 6 standard stadia across the country. Do you think that, with the returning of Malam Shehu Diko, he has what it takes, to attain all of this goal that he has set? First, that we want to digitalize, our sporting infrastructure to make it an ICT compliance. Then again, to have at least 6 standard stadia across the country. Can this be tenable?
Yes, of course. Both goals can easily be achieved. Or the truth is this, the government of the day, what is their intent? Is it just one of these our white elephant project or programs that we just come on air and say something at the end of the day, it doesn't see the light of the day? Talking about Diko, I think Diko has enough of experience to actualize it. All that is needed is for the government to actually give him the needed support and also the needed funds. And if he has that, I think he's going to achieve that. It is really achievable, and it's going to help athletics in Nigeria. Because if you check, most of our stadia, they don't have the needed facility to even organize national competition. So that's why it is very difficult for us, even when organizing the National Sports Festival. You see, the preparation has to be on and on and on and on, where it shouldn't be so. Because if we have a standard stadia that is digitalized, then we shouldn't be looking at just national events. Then Nigeria can also host international events, which can attract athletes from other countries to Nigeria. I think it will be a plus both to the country and also to Africa a whole. And talking about 6 standard stadia, if you look, Nigeria have 6 geopolitical zones. Yes. Having one at each of the zones would be an added advantage to all the zones. And also, they shouldn't just end at that. They should also look at partnering with each of the state government to see how each of the state can have one standard digitalized stadium across the state. That's 36 states. That means automatically we are taking athletics down to the grassroots. I think if we do that, it will really be a plus to the Athletic Federation and Nigeria as a whole.
It will really be a plus to the Athletic Federation and Nigeria as a whole, because Malam Shehu Diko is actually talking tough. Since he came on board, I think the man has been able to show that at least from his body language and some of the statements that he has been making in different quarters, he seems to have what it takes to be able to transform the sporting facilities that we have right here in the country. But still talking about the nature of the sporting facilities across the country, Raymond, I will quickly come to you. Nigeria as a country, we have just one standard approved stadium by CAF. Now, over the years, a lot of billions have gone to the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, yet it has not yet met the standard of CAF, not to even talk about FIFA. You used to hear of the Surulere National Stadium as well. the UGS Wene Stadium in Calabar, where one of the home ground for the Super Eagles then. Now, all these facilities have gone comatose. The big question is, what is the problem? Does it mean that we don't have people at the right place or the right position of authority that can be able, to man this equipment or facilities properly?
You see, the thing here is that this just goes a long way to actually expose our level, because we have not really looked at the critical issues that we should be looking at.
Okay.
Because for us to have this kind of situation now, I mean, 6 geopolitical zones will actually benefit. But if you ask me, that's the barest minimum. That's the barest minimum, because if we don't have, like what Doc said, if we don't have a situation where we get one standard stadium for each state, then we are not serious. We are not serious. So there should be a body that is responsible for picking up these loose funds, and if for any reason that money was set aside for a certain project and it was not carried out, there should be extensive investigation. People should know where the money went to, why these facilities that the government spent a lot of money on is the way that they are. So we need to also up our game on that aspect. It's not just talking tough and making it look like it is something that they are doing to make us sleep better at night. No, it is the barest minimum. This is why when we go to international games, we don't do well, because there is no adequate preparations. There are a lot of talents there that at the grassroots level that need grooming, that need these facilities to possibly train with. These countries that will go to these international events and pick up medals have trained for so long. Some of them take 10 years, 8 years, a lot of time to achieve it. And then we take how long to even release funds available to them. It's actually a problem that needs to be tackled from the grassroots. And this is a good sign, but it cannot stop there. It cannot stop there.
It cannot stop there, according to Raymond, but it looks as though Dr. Elechi Oweke is itching to say something.
Yes, when we look at the stadia we have in Nigeria and the standard of stadiums we have in Nigeria, and seeing that it's only the Godswill Akpabio Stadium that is recognized and approved by CAF for competition, it is really a misnomer. For me, it is something that is not supposed to be. We are the giants of Africa, and if you check in terms of seeing light, we are the first to see light amongst nations in Africa. And when you come down and you see that all we do outside Nigeria does not reflect on what we have, it becomes an issue. So the issue of maladministration, nepotism, and tribalism is really playing a key role. Now, people tend to see public office as an avenue to loot funds for themselves and family, and it becomes an issue. So we should be looking at bringing in the right people that should do the right thing. Now, you are talking about the Surulere National Stadium, Surulere. I remember back in those days, we watched football matches. It was in the National Stadium, Surulere. We used to have Onikan Stadium, where they played Nigerian 99 under 20 tournament. We used to have Yakubu Gowon Stadium. That's what's the other name before the name? Liberation Stadium, where they played the under 20 tournament. Also same year. So I think we really need to look at our facilities. We look at the way we manage our facility. This stadium at that time we are in standard condition. I remember they did play Champions League. Dolphins back then, Rivers United, when they were answering Dolphins, they played Champions League at Liberation Stadium then. So if they could play Champions League at the Liberation Stadium then, that means the stadium was okay. I remember watching Nigeria versus Liberia at UGS Wene Stadium in Calabar. The stadium was okay. So what has happened? So we look at the management. We also look at the bringing out the fund at the right time to manage the stadium. I think the scrapping of the Ministry of Sports and bringing in the National Sports Commission is a right step in the right direction. But the government need to liaise with whosoever that is in charge to see that they accomplish what the National Sports Commission has been brought out for. It is not just bringing out the commission, but they have to follow it. And it shouldn't just be a one-man business. It is not just about Shehu Diko. Shehu Diko should have a team that he should work with. And if he does that, I think at the end of the day, Nigeria should be smiling. In the next 5 to 10 years, we should be having standard stadiums, that could groom talents both in athletics, football, cricket, and all the sports.
All right, we keep our fingers crossed, hoping that Shehu Diko, with his wealth of experience, is actually going to attain or achieve all of these lofty ideas that he has put forward. But still talking about the prowess and the, creativity of Malam Shehu Diko, don't also forget that he was once the chairman of the NLC, and then again a chairman of FIFA Go Project. But then most of his administrative capacity has come from football. And that takes me to the next question, Raymond. Malam Shehu Diko, throughout his leadership quality in different cadres or in different categories that I've seen him occupy, it was basically football. But now, it's been taken to a broader perspective where it doesn't just focus on football, but also in other sports as well. Do you think that with his wealth of experience, this man, does he have what it takes really to be able to galvanize the sporting affairs of the country, other than just football only?
Absolutely. It gives him a better and a bigger platform to do exploits. So I believe in his capacity to deliver, and I know that in an event where he cannot possibly get the job done, he will get the right hands, and all hands will be on deck to ensure that our sports come back to where it should be ordinarily, at the pinnacle in Africa.